All right, so I'm going to try to run 50 miles today. I'm going to bring my phone with me and just kind of chronicle the journey as I go. Should take me between 8 and 10 hours, so stay tuned. Tell you how I do it. All right, briefly before I get going, these are all the things I'm bringing with me or have used or applied already. Headphones, anti-chafe things, tape in the squirrel's nut butter, some glasses, because I'll be outside for a long period of time. I have a hat as well. 2 water flasks, backpack to carry all this food. This is enough food for 300 calories per hour. Some money if I want to go get something at a gas station. GPS watch isn't required, but useful to tell me where I'm at. Some Tylenol, some salt tabs, some napkins in case I have stomach issues and need to go off the trail. These are my running shoes, Pegasus 1s. Some oatmeal I'm eating before I run so I can get some fuel in my system. Okay, it's 10:30 in the morning, mile 0. I'm just going to step out the front door of my apartment in Sacramento, head up the foothills towards Auburn, try to keep about an 8-minute and 30-second mile pace. Half an hour in, 3.5 miles in. I run this route often, so the first 15 miles, I know where the drinking fountains are at, so I don't have to fill up water and waste extra energy holding the water. Basically, all that I'm doing right now is trying to be super efficient in how I run, not use energy now so that I can have it for later. So I'm going to stay out of the sun, try to find flat ground, and go at a nice even pace. 7 miles in, an hour and 8 minutes into the run. I'm not going to stop and make a video every time I eat, but just know I'm trying to eat 300 calories per hour. Each one of these Cliff Bars has 250. It's got everything I want. You can have gels or Gatorade or other things, but these were in the cupboard, so this is what I grabbed. It's got high glycemic index carbohydrates, that stuff that'll burn right away. Low glycemic index carbohydrates, stuff that'll burn slower over time. And then fats, which my body has been adapted to burn through training also. So eat one of these, get back on the road. I've slowed my pace down a little bit so that I can last a little bit longer at a lower heart rate. Check in with you in an hour. All right, I'm 14 miles in, 2 hours and 26 minutes. If I had to rate my pain on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no pain at all, 10 being the worst I ever felt, I'd say this is like a 1 or a 2 pain for me. It's been like a brisk walk for the average person. If you were walking briskly for 2 hours and a half, you'd feel about how I feel. Which reminds me, I mean, if you commit to a 5-hour walk, most people can cover this distance in 5 hours right off the couch. So it's just a matter of training to be able to do it this fast. If we keep going, I'll check in another hour. All right, 18.5 miles in, 3 hours, 13 minutes. I'm gonna be overly transparent with what I'm going through. Ordinarily, most pains and aches that I feel, I wouldn't even give a voice at all. I think the best mental strategy is to just, if someone asks you how you're feeling, you say it doesn't matter. Because frankly, it doesn't. I mean, if you're injured, your body will tell you a lot louder. It's not something you have to listen for. So everything else you can just kind of try to put your head down and push through. Right now I'm feeling a little bit of pain in my left foot. Kind of comes and goes. And the pain from running is starting to, the waves are going to come. It'll usually kind of come up to about a 5 or a 7 until, for the next like 10 miles I expect, until kind of just settles into excruciating for the last 20 miles. So, all right, I'm having my third Cliff Bar now. Get back on the road. All right, 25 miles. It's Folsom Lake behind me, 4 hours and 23 minutes in. Got 4 Cliff Bars, 3 wee-wees, 1 doo-doo. Feeling pretty fresh right now. It's definitely hard work, but I definitely have the feeling that I've been on my feet for 4.5 hours. But besides that, my heart rate's been able to stay about 145, which is a good sign that I'm not overworked, and I'll be able to keep plugging along. All righty, check in with you in an hour. All right, 32 miles in, getting close to 6 hours now. I got a little bit lost. I don't really have a destination, so how can you get lost? But the way you get lost is if you're finding that you don't know where your next water stop is. Water is like everything. And so I haven't been on these trails yet. I got spit out onto a road, and the road's nice, but you can't go to anyone's house to get water, like unless you want to be a super weird. So you want to try to hit parks and stuff that has public water. I found this little horse area. I think I'm going to go back on the trails. Even though trails are harder to run, there's more shade, and I'm more likely to hit another drinking fountain. So that's where I'm going to be. Keep chugging along. Pretty fucking tired. It's painful. Definitely feel like you want to quit, but, it's also still beautiful out. Woo! 40 miles in. We have 7 hours and 27
minutes time elapsed. I'm up the North Fork of the American River right now, just heading north towards Newcastle-ish. About an 8 out of 10 pain. You know, it hurts a lot, but you know, it doesn't hurt as bad as if I ran out of water or food, so could be worse. And I can definitely sustain this for the next 10 miles. Usually run 10 miles in my sleep. Shouldn't take me longer than 2 hours, but it's definitely much, much harder. But yeah, just one foot to the other. I'll check in probably a couple more times before I'm done. Okay, 43 miles, 8.5 hours in. I don't know if I jinxed myself or I'm just dumb and didn't think ahead. I'm running towards the foothills, so at some point I was going to gain elevation, and those last 3 miles were absolutely brutal. Just put on another half an hour. I was actually, you can see down the canyon there, I think I gained 1,000 feet of elevation. I was down there. That's the American River way down there. I'm having some trouble posting videos. I might have like reached the limit or something on Instagram, so I'll delete the ones in the beginning so that I can keep you updated. Should be an hour left.
Go. Well, Luke's freaking out. Okay.
Take a quick video.
Oh.
All right, we did it. 50 miles. 9 hours and 50 minutes total. Just got picked up by my beautiful wife-to-be, Caitlin. I was having trouble uploading videos just because I wasn't having service where I was at, or I was running out of bandwidth. Like, I don't know, you probably limit how much you can spam your story, so I had to delete some in the front, and so other things can post. But 50 miles, thanks for following along if you did. If you want any tips on how to run long distances, get at me. All right, I got no service down here. Woo! Talk about jinxing yourself. Said this next 10 miles is going to be easy, but that was the toughest 2.5 miles of up and down rollers. And now I have something called Cardiac Hill. It's like an infamous hill. It's called Cardiac Hill because it's a tough workout. It's just straight up for like the next mile. Ran out of water, but refilled in the American River. Look at that, that's freedom right there. Take that, communist. So yeah, 7.5 miles. It's gonna be tough, but I'll get it done, but fuck. Alrighty.